Okay, it's time for a new vlog as it's the first of the month, as it being June 2024. Now, what I've been up to now, the last month or the last few weeks have been pretty hectic. Obviously, it was my birthday in early May, and I got a lot of thanks from people, which a big thank you to all of you, and that really meant a lot. And then a day later, my cat had an injury, an eye injury, and basically they were gonna go to try and save his eye, and unfortunately they had to remove the eye because it was too damaged, which was, if anyone has a pet, you know that pets are family and how much they mean, and that was a bit devastating, and that was literally the day after my birthday. And obviously we don't know if it was an accident or if somebody did it. We don't know, and if somebody did do it, then that's a pretty cruel thing to do to animals. Considering that some people, I've seen there are still horror stories of people doing things to animals, and it's really horrible because obviously animals can't fight back, and there's people that take pleasure in doing things to animals, even if it's an animal that you're not necessarily a lover of. It's still a horrific and horrible thing to do to an animal in any form of abuse. And people seem to forget that just because animals can't talk, it doesn't mean that they don't feel pain or they don't feel trauma. And for a few days, obviously he had the operation like a day later to remove the eye. They had to put a cone on it. They had to put a cone in his head. So obviously where they put these stitches where they removed the eye, and he was trying to take it off, and he did a couple of times. And it was difficult trying to feed him, obviously with the cone on, and then obviously with the trauma. And he was totally just wasn't himself. And he had to keep himself for about 2 weeks, and then obviously trying to feed him the medication as well. And he was even losing weight. And luckily, where the eye was removed, it healed up pretty fine, and they were able to take away take off the cone. And yes, it was some weight loss, again due to obviously the cone restricting him not being able to eat, and obviously the trauma. But now he's back to his old self again, and we're he's pretty much back to his old self again now, and we're giving him lots of love. And I still love him, and despite the fact that he's lost an eye, and he's still my baby. It just made me appreciate him more, and then even with animals, and I know that people are probably sick of me on social media, especially on Facebook, with retweeting stuff to do with animals, especially cats, because that's what I have, a cat. With cats being lost or needed adoption. And to be honest, if I had more money, I would love to adopt another cat or two, but obviously it's just money. And the insurance helped with paying for the operation, but we still had to pay it paid for more than half of the fee for the surgery. Obviously it's depending on how much go with, and obviously the more premium they're going to pay for the operation. And that was still a lot, but at the end of the day, he's family. He's not too keen on going outside, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I would still let him back outside, mainly because, again, we don't know if it's an accident or somebody did it. And although he lost an eye, it could have been something. It could have been more serious, like he could have lost his life, and that would have been, for me, would have been very heartbreaking. If something had to happen, like that. My mum was kind of a bit upset because I've seen him in the state he was. I said to my mum, I'd rather he not lose his eye, but then I'd rather it could have been worse. That he could have, they could have said, "Oh, we've had to put him down," and that would have been even more heartbreaking. But as I said, he's slowly starting to get back to his old self again, and he's getting lots of love. So that's the main thing. That's all you can do. So as a pet owner myself, and maybe any of you are, cherish your pets. For me, they're not just pets. If I'm saying that, for me, they are family. So even though they're not animals, regardless of what animal it is, obviously not the same species as us, but for me, I consider them family. So there's having to deal with that, and have to look after them, and obviously the trauma, which I know he probably still has. and having to deal with that. So it took a lot of my time and, you know, trying to care for him. So, but as for his family, so he was worth it. My mum had surgery on one of our eyes as well, and still kind of going through the recovery. And then eventually, when that heals, they have to do the other eye. So it's been a lot of stuff to deal with. I'm still right. I'm pretty much 100% recovered from my flu or cold, whatever you want to call it. Still got a little slight dry cough, nothing too drastic, but it's here and there. So if you hear me kind of coughing, it's not COVID. It's not the so-called pandemic. Can't say that, the dreaded C word. Just, you know, just a bit of mucus on my chest. So there's that. Now what I've been up to, now I've been playing a lot more of Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. I'm pretty much right about up to the end of it now. The last mission that I did, which was on Twitch, because I said before, there's some games I can't stream because obviously it's because with the Xbox and the PlayStation consoles, I'm having to use their internal stuff to be able to stream or record. PlayStation allows you to record footage for as long as you want. You can upload the parts or stream live on YouTube or on Twitch. Xbox, you can only record for a couple of minutes, maybe 30 seconds at most, which I don't understand why it doesn't do that, which is a bit weird. I don't know if it's always been that way. So I just use it for Twitch mostly, and then also there's a lot of games I got copyright in it, like the Phantom Pain has a lot of that in it. And the only good about Twitch is that at least when they play it, they don't mute it. And even when the video is archived, the worst thing that they do is that they just mute it in the place where it's playing, which is far more easy than what YouTube does with the copyright claim. So, so that's been, you know, that's why the Xbox you see that. But most Xbox games, like if I'm playing like Forza Motorsport now, which I did an unboxing of, because I managed to get that really cheap. From Argos, the newest Forza Motorsport. I still need to upload that video, the unboxing of that game, which will explain how I managed to get that game. And I was playing it previously on when it was on Game Pass, when I had Game Pass. To be honest, I don't think I've been getting Game Pass for a very long while because the price of it's gone up, and there were ways how I could get a month's Ultimate Game Pass really cheap on eBay to get the codes, but now the prices are pretty expensive now, so it looks like I probably won't be getting Game Pass for a long while, which is a shame because I've got some really good stuff in there which I would love to be able to play. So that's kind of a shame. But as I was saying about Metal Gear 5, the last mission I did was the mission where Quiet goes missing. And then it's a side mission, and then once you realise that she's not where she's supposed to be, it turns into the full game. And then she's captured, and then you have to take on these tanks. And it took me ages because the amount of damage that these tanks were doing, and it was just utterly ridiculous. And it took me a long while to do, but I eventually did it. So that was a bit of a pain. I am surprised that I managed to get quite a lot of S ranks on some of the missions of the game. Now, for those who don't know, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, I have played it before on PlayStation, so I've got it, so I know how it plays out and what it's supposed to do. Although it's been a long while since I played it on the PlayStation, so and then prior to that, when I had it, I had the game before it, which was Metal Gear Solid 5. Ground Zeroes, which was kind of the prequel to the actual game. And then you had a certain you only had one area to do, but there was several missions in the same area. Like you had to rescue Chico and rescue Paz, and then take out some of these anti-aircraft missile things. So there's different missions in it. Or there's a mission called Deja Vu, when you have to reenact a mission from the original Metal Gear Solid. So once you sit there and you do those missions, you unlock you unlock certain weapons and certain weapons or costumes which transfer to Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Now I didn't do this with the Xbox version because As I've already done it with the PlayStation, so it doesn't matter. And when I got the game, I only got it for like maybe £2, and then plus playing it again on Xbox from scratch was kind of great. Plus, if you do side missions, which I recommend you do to get extra weapons or even money or even people to extra certain ranks of people, like say S rank people to work on your base, or you can send out men to take out certain bunkers, certain areas, so that the enemies won't have helmets. So then when you play the main missions, they're not wearing helmets or body armor or night vision. So those side missions kind of help when you, whether it's you, your character does it or you send your men out to do it. But the thing is, when you do the side missions, some of them you can't replay them for some odd reason. It's only the ones that have got the glowing white circle where they allow you to replay it. So again, I wanted to play again on Xbox just to get the achievement points and to boost up my my points on my Xbox. So I'm virtually right at the end of the game now, and obviously if most people haven't played it will know the twist, or when when next time you'll see me on Twitch playing it, you'll see the actual eventually you'll see the twist or the big reveal of what you maybe already know of it. So that reminds me, I do stream. I'm trying to stream more regularly on Twitch, but some of it sometimes to do with health and things are going on in my real life, which can be kind of tiring. So I don't have a regular Twitch schedule. So if you like, say, games like Metal Gear Solid, beat 'em up, stealth games, action games, especially like the Xbox with Gears of War, Halo, and I've even got the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which I'm going to upload that video. Tune into Twitch to see that. I will put that in the description box if you want to sit and follow me there, and then just hit the notification button so you know when I'm on. Or even if you don't watch and see me live, you can watch the archived videos of after I've finished playing live, and they only last for 2 weeks, unless you're affiliated, and obviously last longer because YouTube have changed it. Although you can kind of archive it, but you know YouTube they keep changing their stuff. So I'm at the end of that. As I've been playing Forza Motorsport, and I'm really surprised how I managed to get that cheap. And I've all got it for a really dirt cheap price, which was $9.99, and that game was fairly new, and I didn't even pay for it because I had a lottery win, a small little win, so I effectively never paid for the game, which was great. And there's a whole story behind that when I eventually upload that. You would have seen I did an Apple loop, an Apple solo loop. It was I'm trying to remember what colour it was. I'm trying to remember. It was a cherry red, and the size of it was a size 12, which I thought would have fit me. And you would have seen the video that unfortunately it was slightly too baggy on my wrist because it's meant to be because the sole loop is meant to be quite tight. So unfortunately, I had to return that. But I thought, but I did do the unboxing video, so I thought I still would upload it anyway, and I did put in the description box saying that I did return it. I've ordered some new ones from off eBay, but I'm still waiting for them to arrive. So hopefully those are the right size, and once they arrive, I'll do a video on those. But hopefully you will like the colours that I've chosen, and hopefully these will fit. I did go to Westfield a few days ago. I went to the Apple store and got measured up. That if I do want to buy the official solar loops in the future, and I didn't realise that my wrist was quite big. So I think the maximum I got is a size 12, but my one was actually a size 10, which I was kind of shocked by. It was probably all the weight of the stuff I've been doing and the weights and stuff. So because I do weights and stuff and weight training, so I don't know if that's the case. But I've got pretty big hands as well, so I've got measured up. So in the future, I will do, when I eventually get the proper official ones, I will make sure I get the right. I know what size to kind of get now. So, but you can download the template from the app from apple.com and then print it out and then actually measure. Because when I print it off, because I don't have a printer and a computer at home, which is why eventually, what I want to do, I want to get a computer at some point. I want to get an Elgato card so I can stream through that directly and do Nintendo games as well, and even also a printer. And when I measured myself, I was a 10, but I just wanted to make sure. I did go to Forbidden Planet. I got a couple of books. One is two of them are actually one of them is of a game franchise made into a movie, which I won't spoil. Got it for a dirt cheap price, and again, it was hardback. You would have seen I showed the art and making of Gemini Man, and the book look at that was pretty brilliant. So check out the video for that. So it's something similar to that. So it's based on the game, and it's had a couple of movies, and obviously a big game franchise. And the other one is more of a paperback, but the price of it was actually an absolute steal. It's of a big sci-fi franchise, so when you'll see that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I managed to get it from Forbidden Planet. And there were other stuff that I wanted to get there, but unfortunately because a friend of mine told me that there was stuff there, but unfortunately by the time I went in a few weeks later, they were all gone, unfortunately. A lot of the kind of art books, which are video game related and comic book related as well, and video game related, I still need to do those videos. I did promise that I was going to do show some of my graphic novels, which I've got a whole lot of them, DC and Marvel. So I promise you at some point I am going to do that. I did do a video on Metal Gear Solid the Twin Snakes, which I got on the GameCube. And somebody asked me to do footage and commentary on that, which I am going to do. I do have my GameCube still, which is still functional, and my Wii, which obviously plays GameCube games. I did have a little goal of playing Twin Snakes, and I was extremely rusty. I've completely forgotten to play it. So I'm probably gonna have to learn watch how someone's done it, because I might play it for about an hour or so, just to see what people think of it, and obviously reintegrate myself into playing the game again. It's quite hard, but unfortunately, again, because I don't have an Elgato card and a computer, whether it's a PC or a Mac, I'm gonna have to be filming it using my 12 Pro. So it's gonna be a bit ancient in the way that I'm kind of recording it, but you'll kind of get the gist of it. I mean, I did do a Metroid Prime Remastered one in a very similar fashion, and people seem to like that. So I do want to sit there and do maybe start doing some of my retro games of games that I have on my different systems, and maybe doing an hour worth of footage, because I do have Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, which is a special edition on PlayStation 2. And I do have Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater on PS3. Although we know that those two games and the original Metal Gear Solid are available on the Metal Gear Collection Volume 1, which obviously is available on the PlayStation, Xbox, and it's the Switch, and obviously on PC as well. So very able to play. Obviously, they're going to be releasing Volume 2. I do have Metal Gear Solid 4. And then basically how I really got that, and I'll do a video on that, is that that's how I got, because I was originally going to buy a 360, and my brother wanted to play that Metal Gear Solid 4, and at the time that was only available on the PlayStation 3, so I decided to go for a PlayStation 3 and go half and half with him and buying a PS3. So what's happened, so I might do a video on that, on my Metal Gear collection. I have got quite a lot of collection on the GameCube and the Wii, and even on the Super Nintendo, and a couple on the NES. Again, on the Switch Online with the NES games, I know a lot of people on the SNES games, I know a lot of people sit there and think, although a lot of people don't like, they're just putting out these games in it. For me, I like it because a lot of those games that are on there, I never got them. I never got to play a lot of them, because at the time there were a lot of money to buy NES and SNES games at the time. So I never got around to playing them, and obviously there's a Mega Drive collection as well. I mean, they haven't really upgraded, added new any stuff new to that recently. I know there's a Mega Drive Sega Classics collection, which I do want to get at some point, and that's available on all the consoles. I do want to get that. Although I have seen it available digitally for $4.99, but I can't debate on whether or not to buy it for $4.99 or just buy it digitally. To buy it digitally or buy it physically. Physically, it's still, even secondhand, it's still really dear. So I want to do that. So, but yeah, I want to sit and start doing a lot more with my video games. I did buy The Witcher, the complete edition. So The Witcher 3, the complete edition with all the DLC. So I do want to sit there and play that at some point. And there's so many games that I want to play, whether it's on, especially whether it's on the Xbox or PlayStation. So again, as I said, subscribe to my channel if you already haven't. I do very rarely stream on YouTube, so if you're already subscribed, hit the notification button, because you never know, it could be the day where I live stream on YouTube. But mostly it's Twitch. So again, I'll put the description of my account. I'm trying to be affiliated on Twitch, which is not being an easy role to be able to go down. I did a review of, as you can see, there's the Superman 2-film collection of, I have all the Superman collection, and I watched the Superman extended cut. I did the review of that, which was the movie itself was over 3 hours and 8 minutes long, and I absolutely loved it. So check out the review of that. Really loved that movie. You would have seen my collection, my Superman collection on DVD, and I'm going to do the Blu-ray version of that, so keep an eye out for that. I've got a couple of Blu-ray films that that I bought, some DC animated, so keep an eye on that, and one gift edition, which I think which people I think are going to love. And I've got some Blu-ray movies that I still haven't unboxed yet or opened up yet. They're still in the cellophane, so I need to do them. I do have a special Nintendo Switch collector's item of something which I need to do the video of. I just haven't to how I'm going to go about doing that. And I want to do more movie reviews. Really start focusing more on my comic book collection. I've been recently, I've uploaded stuff, did the Flash and Superman. I know I haven't done a lot of Batman stuff, even though I'm a Batman fan. I need to do more of that, so expect to see more of that in the graphic novels and the Marvel stuff. I want to start doing more short movie news, more YouTube shorts, because what I'm going to do is that some of the beauty products that I bought, I want to do like a follow-up video that's going to be YouTube shorts where I can do it for 15 seconds or a minute or 60 seconds rather than doing another 5-10 minutes going over it again. So that'll be short, and that'll boost my YouTube shorts, because that seems to be what is really kind of hip these days. Obviously, X-Men 97 just finished. Really enjoyed the finale of that. It's the agony of having to wait over a year. I know they're working on season 2. It's already renewed for season 3 already, and the rumour is that it's going to be renewed for season 4 already. Obviously, we saw a first look at the new Superman movie, which looks great. Just waiting to see how that's going to be. Hopefully, we'll get a proper poster or trailer rather sooner rather than later. There were rumours I heard that James Gunn's thinking about doing a Deathstroke movie, which would be great. I just finished watching Discovery season 5, which is the final season. I just watched the season finale, and I actually thought that was a very good ending. So I am going to miss that show, even though it got a lot of hate, but I'm going to miss it. So I probably won't see any Star Trek until next year with Strange New World season 3, and then the spin-off from Starship Discovery, which will be Star Trek Starfleet Academy. So that won't be for quite a while, even though they've made their first casting already with Starfleet Academy. So that's what we've got to look forward to. Again, as I said before, I want to do more video game playthroughs of certain games. It's just tiring and having to do it and trying to juggle multiple games. There's still games that I still want to get, but it's just the price of them at the moment, which is which is kind of been a bit expensive, as I say. And I have to be honest, but the current generation, it's called now, whether it's the PS5 and Series X, it's been a little bit disappointing. Yes, the consoles are more powerful, and we heard rumours about the PlayStation Pro, and I'm not really kind of keen on that, simply because of the fact that you can have all the power you want with these consoles, but the fact is that you need the quality of games, and unfortunately, with both consoles, it's more so with the Series X. There hasn't been a lack of for me, a lack of quality games and the jump in quality of the games. But for me, it's about the quality of games, and there hasn't been enough of it, in my honest opinion. And then I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers now wanting to go back and do a lot of classic retro gaming, which I do understand, and that's what I want to do, a mixture of the two, if I'm being honest. So, we're going to do that. I'm thinking of doing a follow-up video on the, because obviously having the iPhone 15 Pro after several months, I'm thinking of doing a follow-up video on that. Maybe doing it as a YouTube 1 minute, 60-second short. Similar thing with the iWatch Series 9, which I'm absolutely loving. So currently on charge at the moment. And obviously we know that come this fall or autumn or winter, where you're in the world, obviously they're going to be releasing a new iPhone 16s Pros and the Series 10. So that'll be coming out, but I won't be getting them. So I'm happy with what I got. So yeah, that's what I've been kind of up to. And yeah, and I've got a new food review coming up. Which, and let's say I was kind of very surprised about it. I want to do more food reviews, obviously depending on price and time and me being able to, and then more drink reviews as well. So there's lots of things, ideas and things I want to do. So stay tuned to my channel because there's going to be plenty of content coming over the coming weeks and months. So stay tuned for that. I did have a slight rant where I was on the bus and then this fat guy who basically, well, I don't like shaming, but obviously took up 2 seats. This guy was being kind of really abusive and his behaviour, not only with the way he was looking at me, but the way he was talking to me. And I'm the kind of guy, I kind of see myself as a liberal guy, where I don't go out of my way to antagonise people or to be horrible, to rude people. Even when I've had poor customer service, I might get angry with poor customer service from complaining about something, whether it's with something, but I'm never abusive towards anybody. The only time I sit and I will be abusive back to somebody is when they do it to me, and I'll dish it back out. But I am not gonna sit there and kind of like be rude and kind of be abusive. And then it seems to be something that seems to be going on quite a lot these days, where people don't. It doesn't matter whether the race of a person or the gender of the person, but people just don't. Or I don't know if it's a UK thing or a London thing. This is where I am, but people are just, in my opinion, just rude and have got no manners. Maybe it's just the way I've been brought up, where I was raised to have manners and respect. I know respect is earned, but I've always been raised to have sit there and manners. But if someone's going to be disrespectful, to me or people in my family, as obviously I'm with like my family around, and someone's been disrespectful, I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm going to give as good as I get. Today, I didn't really say, I looked at the guy and didn't even say anything, because to be honest, I was tired and I was hungry, and I just wanted to go get home and get something to eat and relax and lie down. So I just didn't want to sit there and go into an aggravate, do something I might regret or argue back with the guy. I just wanted to go home, to be honest. And sometimes when people can be nasty to you in this world, it's better to walk away from a battle than to walk into one and then end up left with a bloody nose, even when you know that you're right. But yeah, this completely, I mean, as I said before, the state of this guy, I've said this before, I don't like shaming people, but I am only doing it because the guy was abusive towards me. But the state this guy is what looked like his missus. And then you have the audacity to sit there to be abusive towards me. I mean, the guy needs to not only just to take a look at himself in the mirror, but he needs to sit there the guy needs to sit there and go to a gym ASAP. I mean, I've never been overweight, but I've sometimes put on too much, especially with being diabetic. I've had to put on too much muscle, which makes you too heavy, and I've had to sit there and lose weight. So if I can do it, although I've never been fat, but if I can do it, this guy can sit there and lose it. If you follow me on Twitter or on YouTube, you would have seen the pictures I've put up. The guy, I may even put it on my community page. But yeah, I don't really like shaming people. But when sometimes people are rude and abusive towards him and it's no call for it, then to me, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to give as good as I get. I'm going to sit there and shame you. So my final piece of the rant on this is, don't abuse people, because it's not cool. It's not called for, and especially in this world. But yeah, I'm going to be called probably liberal or lefty, but I don't really care. There's just no need for it to be a complete git. If you find it, I would love to use stronger words in describing this guy, which I did on Twitter, but I'm not going to do this on YouTube because I don't want to get into trouble. But yeah, that's my rant over, and one little minor rant with that guy regarding Josh Wilding obviously on Comic Book Marvel. For the last few couple of months or weeks, he's been quite quiet, and now he's gone on his Marvel shilling again. So, and then obviously crapping on anything that's some DC again. And he seems to have this obsession with The Rock and Black Adam for some bizarre reason. That came out a couple of years ago, and he's still going on about that. he seems to have this fantasy with Rock. Maybe he's there's something that he wants to tell us, and he seems to have this strange obsession on social media, which, by the way, he's blocked me on it. I saw what other people showed me with the singer Taylor Swift. If you go on comic book movie, and you scroll back on the stories, you'll see what I mean by how he is. But again, as I've made stories about him, he's not a real comic book fan. He's just a Marvel shill, and he's only shilling now Marvel now all of a sudden, because now obviously the story of you've got Deadpool, Wolverine coming out in June. You got the X-Men, and now they're getting together the writers and the directors to do the X-Men movie, and Thunderbolts, and all the sorts of Marvel stuff coming out. And so now he's jumped back on the Marvel bootlicking wagon. I tell you one thing, he's so far up Marvel's backside, he could literally brush their teeth right with his tongue. But he's not a real fan, as I said before. You see me talk passionately about comics, as I've said before. I don't want to rip myself, whether it's DC or Marvel. You've seen my Marvel and my DC collection, and there's more of it to come that you're going to be seeing. And I've already said that the X-Men 97 my passion for how much I love the X-Men animated series, and how much I loved the X-Men 97. The music in it was great, the intro was great, the whole series was great. I want season 2 now, and I've said that X-Men 97 is probably the best thing that Disney Marvel have done in years, probably since phase 1 or phase 2. So I want season 2 now, and I'm probably going to go back and watch the older seasons of X-Men 97. I've started watching season 2 of My Adventures with Superman season 2. That's absolutely great. If you watched season 1, you're gonna love season 2. If you haven't watched season 1, watch season 1, watch season 2. You're absolutely gonna love it. It's a new, kind of a new take on Superman, but still follows and still carries on the traditions of the Superman heritage, and he's the background behind it, but with a modern update, and it's absolutely great. And I've also been going back and watching Young Justice. I remember watching the first season, which I didn't realize was on Netflix in the UK. I watched the first season. I forgot. I have watched season 2, but I've forgotten it, so I'm watching season 2 again. They do have season 3 now, but for some reason, pardon me, they don't have season 4 in there. And I don't know if it's been renewed for season 5. For goodness sake, the big wigs at DC, bring back Young Justice season 5. I even say bring back Batman Beyond, because I love that. As you know, I've got Batman Beyond on Blu-ray, and as well as the Batman animated series complete on Blu-ray. So I've got a lot of these things to kind of look forward to. But yeah, really loving, as I said before, obviously Discovery's finished. X-Men 97 is finished. Obviously Discovery's finished for good now. And now I'm currently watching My Adventures with Superman, and I'm watching Young Justice, which I'm absolutely loving, because Superboy is my boy. So I'm absolutely loving that, and and then obviously the last season of Superman Lives will be starting up soon. So I'm looking forward to watching that at some point. That's gonna be bittersweet as well, because that's obviously the Arrowverse, even though it's not really part of it, is going to end. So yeah, that's my vlog for January 1st. So yeah, I hope people enjoy this vlog, and I'll see you again in July.